wondered how to make a nice looking bar of soap? Today we're going to teach you how to make a good looking bar of soap.
My name is Keturah and I'm 14 years old in the senior level category.
My name is Nevaeh also, and I am a part of the 4-H Links in Hartford Oaks. I'm 11 years old and I'm a 3rd year beginner.
This will go into the product category of health. These are 3 different types of soap that we'll be explaining how to make. First is the cold process, which is oil and fat and lye all mixed together, and then it has to sit for 6 weeks to cure.
I'll be talking about hot process soap. It's almost exactly like cold process soap. Besides, you heat it up. It will take hours to make, but as soon as it's done cooling, you can use it.
So the third kind of soap is called melt and pour, which is what we're going to be demonstrating today. There's 4 different kinds that you can use. The first is honey based. The second is shea butter. The third is oil, and the 4th is clear. Here's another example of clear soap that comes in a huge brick like this. And if you chop it up, we'll be chopping it up like this batch here, which makes it melt faster, which will cut down your process, the time that it will take significantly, because it will melt so much quicker.
This is what you will be using to color and scent your soap. So if you use regular food dye to dye your soap, it will look pretty, but then it will stain your hands. So you have to go to places you might be able to get at Walmart, Amazon, Hobby Lobby maybe, and you buy special soap dyes. And then you can get soap scents as well. We have pomegranate.
So when you get soap from the store to melt and make into different shapes and stuff, you will get a big brick like this. Or some bricks come in smaller ways. But you won't want to just cut a chunk off and put it in to melt it. You'll want to cut it into smaller bits like this that are about maybe an inch long. And that is a cube-ish. They don't have to be uniform because you will be melting them all together. If you were to just cut off a big chunk like this and put it in your thing to melt it, you could burn your soap, or it would take so long that you'd probably get bored with it quickly.
Okay, I will be talking about how much soap to put in your container to melt it. You can do basically almost as much as you want, but we usually go through 1 or 2 handfuls. Melting soap is a lot like melting almond bark or chocolate. You will put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, pull it out and stir it, and then I'll keep doing that till there's no chunks left. But why you put it in for 30 seconds and then pull it out and stir it? Because it may not look melted, but it is.
What? Good. Listen to my drum skills.
Your blue. Oh!
You
broke your blue spatula. Here, I'll grab you the red one.
It's fine.
I'll grab you the red one.
I don't want the red one.
You still got your blue one, right?
You better do a close-up right now.
Is this gonna go in the video?
I'm going to delete it off of you. I will delete YouTube to get this video off of it.
You realize it's going into the video?
I bet the video can hear that.
Yeah, because mom's saying her dad yelling.
So now she's mixing up all the soap to get all the chunks stirred out of it, because sometimes they'll settle to the bottom and you won't be able to see them very well. So now that she's mixing it up, it will get all the stuff from the sides that will also make sure that it doesn't burn. You can use a smaller container.
I didn't want to.
Already?
No. I still want my spatula to get soap on the table. Or in my pocket.
Okay, while I'm doing this, talk about the molds.
Okay. We have a few different kinds of molds. We have regular shapes, squares, ovals. People even make Easter eggs with these and put little toys or trinkets in the middle. And then we have one of bees. There's 5 bees on this one, 5 bees, and single bees. And then with this one, this is the one we'll be doing today. It has flowers, 2 birds, and a tree.
I'm doing bees.
Okay, Keturah, it's your turn.
What you should do is use your clear to do in the top of the bees, and do the rest on the other side.
So I think mine's melted.
Dye yours orange.
Mine melted. Okay, I'm gonna add some coloring.
Are you my sister?
Yes.
Talk about the dye.
Okay, with the dye, you'll only do a couple drops because this dye is super duper strong. I'm gonna be doing green in mine. And if you don't think there's enough dye, you can always add more. So I did 3 drops in there. And now I'm gonna mix it up. So right there you can see that the green isn't very strong right now.
I'm going to be making my dye red. So I'm going to start with adding 2 drops. This will need a little more dye because it's not clear. So I'll need a little more than the other clear soap. I'm going to add another 2 drops because right now it looks pink. That might have been 3. And you can mix and match colors until you get what you want. So I could add yellow right now to get some orange, or blue to get purple. So I'm just going to keep adding other colors till I get what I'd like, the color I'd like.
So right now I have a green clear color and I don't really like it. So I'm just gonna add a few more drops.
Here's a very important thing if you're making soap and you'd like to add layers like this one does, how it has pink in the middle and on the back, is that if you're layering them, you'll have to make sure that the first layer sets before you add the next, otherwise they'll bleed together. We're not going to be demonstrating layering them because green, pink, reddish don't go together very well, but just wanted to make sure that you understood that in case you would like to do this on your own.
Okay, so after you got all your color mixed in on everything, all you need to do is add a few or 1 or 2 drops of scent. I added 2 drops.
So I'm going to add a drop of dye in the middle and see how that looks when it turns out by adding it on top. So the front should mix in a little bit. Not sure if it will work or not, but I guess when you see the finished product, we'll know. So I'm just going to add a drop right there. And take some of this and just pour it in. You want to go very slowly so that you make sure you don't overfill it. And when you're pouring it, make sure it's on a flat surface so the back is even. I'm going to fill it up all the way to the top until it's going over a little bit. And look at it from here to make sure it's even.
So I'm going to be doing the tree one, and so right now I'm going to pour in my color. You also have to go very slowly.
is one that I started setting up for my brothers, where I just poured it into the front of this bee, so it's only in the top. You can see there from the side view that the top is full, but the rest is empty. One of my brothers will take his colors and add it into the top. So only the front will be a pink bee, and then whatever color he chooses for that. Right now I'm just cleaning up the mess, scraping off the soap, and that has hardened partially to get this ready, cleaned up for next time. If you wait a long time, it will be really hard to clean this off, surprisingly, even though it is soap. So do it right away. And if you need to, just put it back in the microwave to heat it up again. That will make it come off way easier. You go on this side.
And now we're gonna talk about one last mold. This is my loaf mold I got when we first started making soap a couple years ago. And she will be popping it out and showing you what it looks like when it's finished.
So the outside of this is wood to keep its shape, and the inside is rubber, so it's easier to peel off. So what you do with this is you just flip it upside down, slide the wood off, and then you can just fold up this and pull it off. Here's the brick, the soap brick, when it comes out of the mold. You can see the different layers that we did. Here's the solid shea butter layer. Here's a clear layer, for example, and 2 more shea layer, and the very top is clear. You can see the top, kind of a feather design that happened when we poured the clear into it. It kind of went down, and the white, you can see how it goes around it. And here's what this side looks like. Pretty much a mirror image of this, but on this one corner, we added clear. Just to see how that would look, so you can see the difference right there, clear to shea butter.
And right here's the bar of soap that we got. You can see it's clear with white around it. And I think this bar looks way prettier than our first one.
So in conclusion of this demonstration, I want to say a big thank you to Danielle for teaching us how to make soap a few years ago. In this whole demonstration, we showed you the different supplies you would need, 2 other ways that you can make soap from scratch, and a few different techniques that you can use.
The blue spatula, is that the blue spatula? Okay, look alive. 3, 2, 1.
You can talk.
Okay, you ready?
Excuse me, but it may look melted, but it's not. And then you won't end up with too much soap and burn it, and then it's a mess. And then it's terrible.
Oh, you're talking too fast. You have to wait a bit.
Just scoot over.
All right, go. You actually have to say the words.
I said we're going to dub it. Just move your mouth.
I'm recording right now. This is going to make it into the outtakes.
No!
Then say your line.
I did. It may not be melted, but it is.